Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for an all new episode recap of today's Days of Our Lives, June 27, 2025. So we start off with Rafe and Johnny, right? Because remember, Gabby on yesterday's episode called him and said that Johnny was actually the male voice that she overheard on the night of EJ's shooting, right? So Rafe is just, asking him, did he have an argument with his father on the night of his shooting? So Johnny's trying to play around and, say, who told you that? Like, he's saying, nobody told me anything. I just want to find out if, you had an argument with your father. So he eventually did, semi-confess that he had an argument with his father, but he told him that he didn't shoot him, right? So Rafe believes him, right? But Johnny's just hesitant to really tell him any more information because, again, Rafe might have been his stepfather back in the day, but at the same time, he's also an officer of the law, and he's feeling like, if I even say anything further, will I be incriminated, right? So Rafe promises him that, if he comes forth with what he knows, that he will protect him, right? So Chad is at the door with flowers. Kat was there earlier preparing a nice dinner for the two of them to make up for what they did on the skydiving thing. And, she got a call from the director of the IC that they have a mission for her. She is concerned about the time, but she understands what she signs up for, right? So anyways, Chad comes with the flowers and she automatically assumed that, it was for her, but turned out that it was for Felicity and I guess the graduation. So, I'm saying, man, Chad, you didn't have to put her down like that, right? But anyways, he comes in and, they're just talking about the date that they had and, her doing this whole home cook thing, it being her first meal that she ever made, because Chad is saying, normally people do scrambled eggs or grilled cheese as their first ever meal that they created, but she has to just wow everybody with her, French meal, right? So anyway, she said it's really easy to put together, and they're talking, they're gushing as usual over each other, and at some point she has a phone call saying that the meeting was ready. So she makes up this lie that Felicity fell off the balance beam and she has to go to her. So Chad offered to go along with her, and she said no, it's probably too embarrassing for her. So she said that she had to do it on her own. So anyways, Chad said that he will stay back and clean up and maybe take some of the meal that she made. So she points him to where the leftover containers are and how to clean up. And Chad said, what, next time we meet, it's gonna be dinner on me, right? So anyways, Chad is there cleaning up. He thinks about the first time he went over her place and she spilled mustard on him, and he's just gushing. And I'm saying, if you two don't just get together and finish, right? So Chad isn't the only one bringing flowers. Xander's bringing flowers to his brother's hospital room, and Philip is thinking that it's insincere because he always is trying to kill him, right? So Xander said he already told him that he feels sorry for what he did to him in the hotel room. And Philip is saying it's not only that, like, you tried to smother me with a pillow. I heard from my mom how you were instrumental in getting rid of the security guard that was at my room. So how do I know that you're not going to finish off the job? So he said, look, if I wanted you dead, I would ensure that you were taken care of long ago. So he said, I know how you get down, so I do believe that you would have done it long time ago. But my thing is, I heard about the whole thing with the hospital bid and that you leveraged a lot of money, right? So if this all goes down, I have no reason but to tell the whole world what you did to me, right? So the only way we're going to make this work is if, we come together and make sure that the company doesn't go under and try to work alongside each other. So he said, as long as you don't try to attempt to kill me again, we're good. So Xander promised him on that. At some point, Kayla came in and asked what's going on, because he did press the buzzer to kind of get Xander out. So he said that he just wanted to know when he was leaving. So she said that he will be leaving tomorrow. And she's asking, are you sure you guys are okay? So Xander said, yeah, we're good at just catching him up to speed on the business and everything, right? At some point, he did go back to Kayla, and Kayla did inform him that EJ still won the bid because remember they had to do it over because Xander was exonerated. So that was all for nothing, really. So at this point, I don't know how this is going to work out between Xander and Philip. Speaking of the bid for the hospital, EJ did go over to Kayla because he wanted to confront her about her rudely ending the call, discussing the whole thing. So she said that, sorry, not sorry. So she doesn't care at the end of the day. However, he's saying, does the hospital stand for more litigations? I don't think they have a great lawyer. So she said, we have a great counsel. However, Titan Demir is breathing on our neck, to say that if we do not rerun this hospital bid again, we might be facing, some more lawsuits. So I know how you can get back my vote. So he's like saying, is this extortion? So she said, no, think of it as you just have to kiss a few babies, hand out a few lollipops. Meaning, if you want to win me over, you're going to make sure you listen to what I'm saying in this budget. So she shows him the budget of what she wants outlined. So I guess he agrees to it, right? So Kate and Alex are talking at the pub, and they're just going through the whole thing with the manuscript and everything. So she said, do we have a deal in terms of putting it on the market? So he said, are you actually coming to work for us at Titan Publishing? So she said that she agrees to accept the job because she wants to be closer to Philip, and it is part of his legacy, and she thinks about her relationship with Victor and what it would mean to Victor to take that on. So she's all on board for it, right? And she almost lost Philip, so she doesn't want that him to lose what is rightfully his. So she is definitely wanting to go on board for that reason. But I believe that is also to watch what Xander is doing and to just get him back for what he did to her son. So anyways, he said that he had it under control in terms of getting the manuscript on the market. He's ensuring that he's gonna get through with it tonight. So she said, anything that I can do. So he said no, it's all under control, right? Speaking of the manual, right, or the manuscript, I keep saying manual, but Stephanie is over there reading Kate's notes, thinking about, maybe I want to publish this on the market or not. So Jada comes over and Jada's like, what are you reading? At first she jumps and closes it and says, oh, nothing. So she said, it doesn't look like nothing. Seems like you were very engrossed in it. So she ended up telling Jada that it's a romantic novel that she's been working on. She said that Alex has already read it, but Kate has already read it, but she left it at the hospital. So a lot of people and their mothers have already read it. So she's kind of just embarrassed that maybe somebody might find out. She's wondering if her parents have already read it, her mom. So Jada said, I think you should go for it, put it on the market. It could be a very great big best time seller. So she is still on the fence about it. Jada asked to read it, so she's seen where it's steamy, it's definitely erotic, and Stephanie is just worried about how it may be perceived by her family, her friends, her clients. She's just really worried about how it may come across, and it's just embarrassing. And I'm saying, girl, if you don't just go ahead and publish that book, it might just make you a great revenue. You can do it under a false name as you already been doing. I don't see what's the big deal. So Alex comes home and he tells Stephanie that Kate is on board. She's gonna join back Titan Publishing, and he's just saying, we would really like if the book can be up for publishing. So Stephanie's still on the fence, and he's trying to bribe her, trying to win her over with saying yes to the whole idea. And she said that I'm just again embarrassed about anybody finding out that it's me. I mean, as long as you can ensure that nobody finds out that I'm the one behind it, then I'm okay for you to publish it, right? So he's happy about it. They celebrate, and that's about it. So Jada ended up leaving because Rave called her with some information on EJ's shooting, and it had to be off the record. So they meet up at the station, and Jada asks, what's going on. So Rave tells her that Gabby ended up knowing who was the male voice on the night of EJ's shooting. She didn't know at first, but she made it out to be Johnny's. So she said, and you just come in with this information now. So he said, she just remembered, and she also remembered that Ava was there, but she left before the shooting happened, right? And Gabby was not even involved at all because she ended up leaving. So Brave tells her that he believes Johnny. Johnny said that he did not shoot his father. It was just an argument, and he ended up leaving. So she said, how do you know that he's telling the truth? So he said, like, we know each other a long time. I can tell when he's a liar, right? So she said to him that, I can't really promise a lot. I have to go talk to the DA to see how I can really navigate this thing, right? But he does have to come in for questioning. So Rafe said, as long as you don't make me out to be a liar, because I promised him that I would keep him safe, right? So Rafe ended up meeting up with Kat because, as we know, Rafe is a part of the FBI now, and he was sent to collaborate with ISC to take down the Demaras, which he's familiar with, and he has a lot of intention behind it to ensure that EJ is put away for good. So he heard that Kat is one of the best analysts on the ISA, and he looks forward to working with her. So let's see how this all plays out. EJ was in the square trying to win over back the votes, doing this all over again, and then he runs into Johnny. So, he's like, hi, John Roman. And, Johnny addressed him as dad, and he was surprised to hear that from him. It's been a while. So you can tell that Johnny's upset. So he's like, what's going on? So Johnny tells him that he confided in Rafe about the night of EJ shooting, and that he told him that he had an argument with him and everything. So EJ was upset about it because he's saying, like, why would you confide in Rafe? Like, Johnny's saying that he knows him for a long time, and Rafe said that he was going to protect him. So he said it matters not, like, he's an officer of the law. He always believes in justice, and everything, has to be correctly done, and, everything has to be crossed off, all T's crossed and all I's dotted. He's the by the book kind of guy. So why didn't you come to me, your real father? I could have protected you. I know what you did that night. So he's like, I didn't shoot you, Dad. So EJ was surprised because all along he assumed that he was the one who pulled the trigger. So he said, no, I had the argument with you. I had the gun. However, you took the gun from me, and I went home. I was horrified because I couldn't go through with it. So EJ is relieved to hear that his son didn't ended up shooting him. So now he's wondering, like, who could have done it. But he hugged Johnny. He's relieved. And, Johnny's surprised that he's standing by him still. So he said, look, you're my son and I love you. And he ended up telling him, I love you too. And they hug. And I'm so happy that they're back on track. But let's see, Chanel is going to be happy about that. But who cares? So anyways, while they're there, and he got the news that he is still in charge of the hospital. So he has two good news in one day, but then that all comes to an end when Jada comes over and arrests Johnny for the shooting of his own father. So EJ is, flabbergasted as to why this is happening. And now Johnny's thinking Rafe is probably behind this after he swore that he would protect him. But let's see what happened, because Jada did say that she was not going to go through this and just bring him in for interrogation. Sorry. So let's see how this goes. But don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to my channel. Comment below your thoughts on today's episode. I will see you guys next week. Have a wonderful weekend.